online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh my gosh.
I know we let songs play sometimes at the beginning, but I don't want to hear this song. I'm just kidding. Let this one play because this is her song.
It's very special.
Wow.
I have to be honest, I've listened to the song 7 times today.
Really?
Not just this version.
Not 8?
The remix version. You can let it keep playing for a minute, Mark.
Okay.
The remix version, because it's amazing. You guys, welcome to the Bachelorette After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Danny Hoyt, and we have 3 very special people with us tonight. I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourselves first. Well, 4, 5, if we want to be real. Let's go all the way around the table. First, we got Mark back in the booth. Mark, how you doing?
Doing fine, Danny. How you doing?
Mark's our producer. Let's start on the other end of the table and we'll work our way back over here.
I'm Brooks Forrester.
Coughs McGee.
I'm Savannah Outen.
Wait, you're the finale because you're the special guest. You have to wait.
No, I'm Coughs McGee.
Interrupter McGee. All right.
Sorry.
I'm Cathy Kelley.
Excuse me, who are you?
I'm Savannah Outen.
Oh, did we just lose our microphones?
No, it's here.
Oh,
Right?
I lost mine.
Don't
I
have
have,
to-
oh, there we go.
You're fine.
Savannah Outen, ladies and gentlemen, can we get a round of applause?
You're freaking out over
My
here.
earbud, everything cut out in my ears.
Your last name sounds like something that
A Canadian
Viking would say, like Uten, like after a battle.
Okay.
That's what it reminds me of. Is it have any like where's it from?
It's Dutch.
Dutch. Like the land of wooden shoes, Dutch.
Yeah.
Like you accept that answer and mine was like weird.
Dutch?
Like going halvesies on a date.
Yeah. Vikings, you're weird.
Sure. Wait, Savannah, is it weird listening to yourself
Yeah,
on
this
something
is
like this right now?
strange.
Do you want us to stop it? I'm cool if it plays the
Keep
whole
going,
time.
yeah.
No, it cannot play the whole time. It's only
We'll
3
loop it.
minutes long.
It's fitting that this song is titled Boys, since that's what
Right?
we're talking about tonight.
Boys tell all.
That
There
is
were a
pretty
lot
funny.
of boys in the season.
Savannah, can you tell everybody real quick where they can find you, follow you, where they can find you on the
Sure.
World Wide Webs?
You can find me at SavannahOuten.com. That has basically everything. My Twitter is TheRealSavannah. Mm-hmm. I tweet a lot about The Bachelor.
You're a huge Bachelorette fan. That is how we bonded.
I know. When you asked me, I was like, stop.
When Cathy texted me, she's like, "Hey, we have a special guest in a couple weeks." I was like, "Hello."
I think all of us had some type of like connection to you prior.
Well, you guys
Either
had a
on
prior
Twitter,
connection?
Bachelor,
Yeah.
on Twitter.
I don't think I had a prior connection with you.
Besides being Dutch,
Well, that.
which we now know, we feel.
Long before time.
It's here. You can't talk about it, it just exists.
And what guest brings us food?
We need
This
to talk
is
about this for a second.
amazing.
You made us
Okay,
cake
1
balls.
second. I gotta really put this one in. Okay, we're good.
Cake balls.
Can you guys see this?
They're
I don't know. I don't even think we can. I don't know if we
pops.
can.
The
Actually,
rose
kind of
cake
embarrassed.
pops.
I don't know.
What
Do
are
they
you
look cute?
embarrassed about? Yeah, hold that up close to that. It's gonna be blurry, but whatever. These are balls of cake
Okay, we
that look like
begin.
roses. Look at that. Brooke's doing a little cinematography of it.
Yeah.
And then you drizzled red on them to make them look like roses.
And they're
Drizzle.
delicious.
Yes.
Gosh, well, thank you very much.
getting that whole ball in his mouth.
That's a lot of balls.
All right, Clint. All right, Clint. Calm down over there. Okay, so we have a lot to cover. How does that taste?
That's a lot of cake.
Savannah's friend is also in studio with us, Liz Golden.
She helped me make these. Oh, she was a big portion.
Liz does have a microphone, but can we at least cut to her so we can give her a round of applause for helping make these?
Yeah, Liz.
Thank you for hanging out. Liz is embarrassed that we're talking about these balls right now. Okay, so we have a lot to get to. Let's get to this. Savannah, thank you for joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about you at the end.
Oh, no. Let's talk Bachelor.
You want to talk about Bachelorette.
Yes.
Savannah, off the top,
Please.
when the season started and all the guys jumped out of the limo, who was your number
Sean.
one? Really?
Mm-hmm. She knows this.
Why?
Or may I say Ryan Gosling? Because he's just so charming. He really is.
More charming than any of the other guys, right away.
Well, and Ben H.
Okay.
Yeah.
No Nick.
No.
Are you a Nick fan? Tell the people,
What
because
about
we're
Ben Z?
divided on.
I don't know. I would like right when he walked out of the limo, no. But
Okay.
as I got to, see his personality, I really liked it.
Talking about Ben Z.
Yes.
But not Nick.
I've never been a Nick fan. My mom's gonna hate me. My mom loves Nick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about Jared?
Sweetheart.
But not like the guy. He's a good guy.
No, he's a really good guy though.
Okay, so your top 3 would have been Sean, Ben H, Ben Z. Mm-hmm. Okay, that says a lot about you. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it. Have a good
guys.
one.
Thank you.
No, that's great.
And Ian. Just kidding.
Yeah, she started off the night by saying
Tony the Healer.
Ian for next Bachelor. We didn't hear anything from Tony the Healer tonight.
know.
He didn't say a word.
Even when the sumo guy jumped in the pool, he didn't say anything.
That was hilarious.
That was the
Brooks,
best part of the show.
Are they obligated to be there? You took part in this. Are they?
I don't think anyone's obligated per se. I mean, what can they do?
So my question is this: Tony was so against what happened, and he left in such a weird way that I thought maybe he was trying to like stage a little mini protest, like I'm going to come, but I'm not going to say a word. So he wasn't obligated to be there. He chose to be there.
I think it was a good time for him to say his apologies. I think he realized
No,
afterwards.
Tony the Healer.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I
we're
thought you
so-
said Ian.
No, still talking about Tony. Like what? He didn't say anything. I just thought that
He
was
also
weird.
chose to be on Bachelor in Paradise, so I think that he's got enough screen time coming up.
It's just that was interesting to me because he
Do you
was.
think they cut him out? Do you think they had some comments and
Maybe.
they just cut him out?
Well, we talked about this. It's a
He's on
6
Bachelor in
to
Paradise?
yeah, I think so.
Really?
It's a 6 to 8 hour taping that they
Yeah.
cut down to 2 hours. So there is a lot that we don't see.
Would you guys pay? What would you pay to see unedited version?
I've been there at those things, and it's
Really?
Yeah, it's just a lot of people drinking, taking tequila
Do you think there's
shots
other things
and-
that are said that we like would have given us closure on things or been like fan favorites? Or do you think they put all of it into the 2 hours?
Ben fan favorites? Is that a Freudian slip?
No, I said that would have made us fan favorites. Like,
Oh.
that would have been fan favorites, as in like things that were said would have been fan favorites. B-E-E-N. B-E-E-N. 2 E's.
Ben.
Ben. Ben. I think I can help with the whole Ben
Yeah.
situation. No? Okay. All right, well, let's start right at the top. Sweet, guys. Off to a great start here. We get a sneak peek of Batch in Paradise. There looks like there's going to be
So many ugly cries.
so many ugly cries.
I'm so excited.
Who are you most excited to see?
I can't wait to see Jared in like a different light.
Really?
Yeah.
He definitely looked to me, we'll get to this, but like he
Yeah.
was still not over
No,
things.
no.
His cool way, his line of questioning, his facial reaction when he's watching. Same thing with Ben H when they were watching their little clip.
So for Jared, though, if he's on Bachelor in Paradise and he's already potentially had the chance to find love, but he's not over it yet, that's
yeah.
Right?
Could just be clever editing as well.
yeah.
be.
Yeah. But JJ seemed fine.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to see the Ashleys,
Yep.
Ashley S and Ashley I.
Ashley
and
S was on a stretcher.
Yeah.
She was on a stretcher in that preview.
Yeah.
What?
hello,
happening?
Jade. Who is she in bed with?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Jade Roper from my home state of Nebraska.
Really?
Whew. We're friends on Facebook now. Maybe you'll reach out and see if we can get her to come out here.
Wow.
And hang out. Maybe
Yeah.
I should.
Yeah.
See if she'll come be on the show. I don't know why I never thought of that before right now.
I would love to have her and Sammy Stefan on at the same time.
I think that, yeah, that's something we should make
Girl
happen.
power.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, we'll see. And it's going to be a 2-night thing. Sunday, August 2nd, and then Mondays, we will be airing our after show on Monday nights, recapping both nights. So you can look forward to that starting technically August 3rd.
Do want to mention real quick, did you see that ABC is also doing an after show?
Yeah.
It's a really good idea to do after shows.
It's a
Would this
great
be
idea.
After.
Yeah, they're
Like,
doing
really
it. I think it's
okay.
it's either I don't know whether it's airing on TV or this is something that they're airing online exclusively. But I think that Chris Harrison is hosting it, and they're going to have people from the show like explain what happened. But they're doing 2 nights a week. They're doing Sundays and Mondays and doing an after show. That's almost too much of a good thing.
I feel like we're gonna need to watch their after
Yeah,
So
show.
we're gonna do an after show.
Yeah.
We're just
Okay.
like, oh, we'll talk about
An
the
after
show.
Another
hours
job for
after
Chris
after show.
Harrison.
Yeah, geez, Chris is not. Yeah, what was Amy Schumer saying that he lives in a palace or something after he wrote his book?
He wrote his
We
book.
get it.
Can
you
I
wrote
just
a book.
say that
Say it.
Amy
Say it all.
Schumer needs to be the Bachelorette someday?
She's hilarious.
Have you guys seen Trainwreck yet?
No.
Yes.
I haven't. I need to. Don't. No spoilers.
There's a but.
You saw
There's an interview,
it,
by the way,
Cathy.
of
I
Amy
said-
Schumer talking about it, if you want to watch it.
about being the Bachelorette?
Yeah, they asked
Is
her.
she joking or is she being serious?
No, she's being serious. She's like, you would have to pay me a lot of money to do that.
Okay, so let's do this. First of all, a little cut to Becca and Joe doing the bleachable moment spot. That was kind of cool to see Becca and Joe do a little
Yeah.
hosting thing back
Yeah,
and
that was
forth.
cool.
Yeah. Shout out to them. Okay, so straight into let's start with Ian. Let's go in chronological. Let's start with Ian. Right away, Tanner goes. Tanner was like a caged. He had issues that he needed to get. He goes off on Ian, and I thought it was fair. He wasn't a jerk. He was very.
This is the first time we've seen Tanner. He's usually very eloquent, and I think that he was tonight, but he was clearly also worked up because it was harder for him to get everything out.
Do you think he had pre-written the line, Princeton needs to teach a class on how not to be an a-hole?
For sure.
That was funny.
Yeah.
I've heard Kaitlyn say that before in interviews, though.
Oh, did she?
Well, also,
So he was just regurgitating it?
what was the line that Ian said when he left? He's like, Princeton taught classes on this and blah, blah, blah. So I think that he was just kind of turning that around on Ian.
So, Savannah, do you think that Tanner was too harsh on Ian? Or do you think it needed to be said to
No,
him?
I think it needed to be said. Yeah, I think Ian was just such a weird guy. I don't know. I feel like nobody really had enough balls to say anything.
Do you think, we'll get to the apology in a second, but do you think after watching him tonight, do you think that he was just edited to look like that he maybe does have a sensitive, softer side?
Ian?
Yeah, I mean, we know he's sensitive, but like
yeah.
a not as controversial side.
I don't know. I get vibes from him that he's just
Off. Brooks, what do you think?
Yeah?
How did you take Ian tonight?
I don't even know how to where
What was
to
his
start.
apology?
It was
Yeah, it's
so
just-
awkward, too.
Let's
I
do
mean,
this
to
then.
take it back to where Ian was to where he is now, it's like, I mean, I think his reasons for leaving were valid. He didn't get along with her. That part of it, the way he went about dismissing his execution of dismissing himself from the show, I think was, was classless, and he realized that too, and he was like, okay.
Well, let's talk about his apology, because I think that's the big thing we're going to talk about. Do you think his apology sufficed, Cathy?
I want to know, and this is something from what he said. He's like, you received a lot of backlash. I want to apologize for any of that may have come from what I said. I received a lot of backlash.
Sure.
I wonder if he only apologized because he received so much hate
interesting.
from people. Like, if he didn't realize that what he did was wrong until he heard, people on Twitter were like, Ian is a jerk.
I don't think so, because if that's the case, then I think his apology would have been a lot lighter. It would have been a little more like, yeah, you know what, I got some backlash too. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have. But instead, he took a whole new angle of like, this is the guy I am. Even though the knees thing was a little weird, but it was an act of demonstration. I get what he was trying to do. It was weird to me, like the
he just
vibe
wanted
thing.
more camera time. It was just.
It seemed a little bit of him like pandering to the audience. Like, if it was specifically an apology, I do appreciate the letter
card,
to
yeah.
Kaitlyn, but he didn't need to announce, no one saw that I was a really good guy and I used to send you or give you letters every single week. Like, no one saw what a great guy I was.
So you
But
still
do you
think it was a
think-
little about him?
Yeah.
But do you think if he didn't apologize, we'd be like, he didn't even apologize?
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah. But I wish
He is either way.
I wish that he had apologized, but it was less to the public and more just to Kaitlyn and the guys.
I thought it was interesting that Ben chimed in at Corey, which, by the way, did Corey talk too much tonight?
He got
Yes.
more screen
So
time tonight than the entire
much.
season.
Yes. It was, yeah.
It was
That
annoying.
weird.
I think we all commented, like, Corey, stop.
Yeah.
Even before Ian started apologizing, Corey stuck up for Ian and said that he thought the same things about Kaitlyn,
did.
saying that she was shallow and
This is what I love. Ben H cuts in and goes, well, how many weeks were you on? How well did you really get to? That was awesome.
Yeah.
So
That was
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
So is it's relative. You can comment as long as you've been on the show. It's like back row you get a comment each, front row okay maybe 4 or 5 comments based on the time that you've had.
Corey got more screen time than Joe Bailey.
Yeah, I wanted to hear a little bit from Joe. I thought Joe probably had some questions.
Well,
he was pissed.
He left really strange.
He left strange.
Yeah.
So
It was weird.
Abrupt.
So
Joe's
I want to
abrupt.
I want to list this. The people that talked the most were Corey,
JJ.
or JJ,
Ian.
Koopa, which is another one like what-
Corey talked more than Ben H, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. That was, yeah.
And who's the other guy that voted for Britt that Kaitlyn called out? The guy was sweating.
Jonathan.
Jonathan. Those are the guys that we saw the most of. Very interesting that of those, JJ was a major player. Ben H is a major player, but the rest of those weren't major players.
Yeah.
I forgot about Corey, honestly. I didn't even
did
know
too.
his name until I looked it up tonight.
Yeah, I did too.
I love the tweets. I think Becca Tilley might have tweeted this. She was like, "Do you even go here?" Like with a picture of Corey.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so anything else you guys want to say about Ian as a whole? His apology later to Kaitlyn. He gets a cramp. That was kind of funny.
That was so uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable. He did this like awkward leg thing. I was like, what?
I literally couldn't watch it.
The whole time I was saying to myself, what is he doing? What is he doing?
Are you
It would have been
posing?
amazing if you would have been like, Princeton sprinter cramp. Like, it was like very
I
specific.
have bad quads from back in my days sprinting at Princeton in the Ivy League. I don't know if you guys know. Even Chris Harrison said at one point, like, what are you doing?
I love Chris Harrison's look. He was like, that's going to be a gif for sure. Like, that'll be a Bachelorette gif from now on.
I hope so. Okay, so anything else with Ian?
No.
I just kind of felt like this MenTell overall was the guys thinking, how can I get more screen time or how can I get the most screen time? As
Why though?
opposed
What
to,
does it do for them at this point? Because we already know who was on Bachelor in Paradise. It's already filmed. What could it do? Except for Ian, who needed to make a public apology, probably. What else could it do for any of them? Why would they want more screen time? To be famous? Like what else could be the driving? You know what I mean? Why?
Yes.
Yeah, to be famous.
Yeah. More Twitter followers.
So then that just sounds crappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the people that are quiet, do you think there is something to that? Like,
That they're
hey, look, I don't-
genuine and sincere and
Like
they were on the
Ben
show
H.
for the right reasons.
And Jared came across to
Right
me as
reasons.
they weren't trying to get screen time. What they said was sincere and valid.
Yeah.
Asked good questions, and they weren't. They didn't seem thirsty for that to me.
No, very classy. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to. Let's move on to
Wait. Who's the guy that got sent home the first night and they got drunk? And
Ryan.
Doesn't he have thirsty tattooed across his stomach?
I thought it was a joke. Is that real?
Doesn't he? I'm pretty
I
sure
don't
he does.
remember.
Remember we were
Something
like,
weird.
I don't remember if it was him.
He was kind of funny tonight,
Someone has
actually.
thirsty tattooed across their stomach. I'm
No.
gonna go back, and
Okay.
I think it was him. I think it was Ryan.
I'm gonna pull up the chat
Look
roll
it up,
while we're
yeah.
talking about this because somebody's gonna know, and I don't have the chat roll up right now. I apologize. By the way, I want to say thank you to everybody that's watching and everybody that chimes in the chat roll. We love you guys and appreciate that. And to you guys that download the podcast and rate us 5 stars, that's why we do this, is for you guys. So please continue to do that.
Yeah.
We so appreciate it. So
We hope you're horned up about this after
we
show.
hope you're horned up about this after show. So here's the deal. I'm pulling up the chat roll right now. I want to talk about Clint though, because this whole Clint JJ thing, I don't feel like we got any resolution.
No.
Savannah, what are you thinking?
I mean, I think that their relationship is the best relationship in Bachelor history. They were so weird. I just don't know what they were trying to say. Like, I just felt like he kept talking in circles.
Did you get closure? Like,
No,
okay,
I
they
did
are
not
straight.
Get closure on that.
I
didn't
wish that they
either.
were they would be more
Right?
lighthearted about
Right.
it. Like
No,
Clint was
it's like
getting
they're kind of
angry.
being serious.
Yeah, Clint was
it's
getting
weird.
really angry
Which
about.
if he's defending it, does that mean there's some truth to like? You know what I mean?
No, it's weird.
That's what's kind of weird.
And JJ was like, it's all tongue in cheek, and
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
like-
the moment where they were like nose to
Nose
nose.
Yeah.
to nose.
How did they get
I'm like,
there?
I don't know. Yeah, how did?
Yeah. How
That's
do you,
a joke.
You think at one point one of them would be like,
Yeah,
making me
it's
feel a
too
little
far,
uncomfortable.
Too far. I don't know.
did you eat bacon today? Because I can smell it on your breath.
What was the thing where they put their foreheads against each other?
That's
That's
Yeah.
what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Danny, welcome to the conversation.
sorry.
It was the bacon comment.
I was just
bacon on the
so you
brain.
guys know, I
Bacon.
just logged into chat roll. We're here. I'm looking at your comments. I see them. So thank you. I was just saying hi to
He sees
everyone.
them.
I
What are
see
they
them.
saying? What are they
I
saying? What are
see
they
you.
saying?
This is the first time people are watching our show live. Clint was freaking more attractive than ever on this app. Is it because of his beard, ladies? Was Clint more attractive with his beard?
JJ had
JJ
the
was
beard,
too.
too.
Yeah. I think some of the guys look better.
But
Who?
so
Who
they
else
were
looked better?
better
I like
beards.
Ben H's haircut.
Oh yeah.
What about Jared with the no beard?
That yeah.
Look
yeah.
more
Good
attractive.
call, Chris Harris.
Really,
attractive?
really good call. I'm so glad that he finally did that.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's talk about. JJ was funny, and do you think he was trying to be funny when he said things like, "There's a lot of meat to this"?
I was wondering if he
Is he
planned
smart
it
enough
that
to do
way
that?
or if they edited it that way. The meat comment was the one that made me question whether he was
Yeah,
doing that on purpose
yeah.
or not.
I don't know. His reaction afterwards was pretty genuine. He was like, gosh.
I got a shout out to Ezra H. Music, who just said I love your music, Savannah. Sorry, I know that's off topic. It's not off topic. Savannah's hanging out with us. You can say whatever you want. Also, people said, Cathy, they love your dress and that you were very hot.
Oh.
So there you go. Brooks,
It is hot in here.
no soup for you. So
No soup for you.
no soup for you. Not yet. I feel like with the whole Clinton JJ thing, watching them watch it back, JJ had fun with it and Clint didn't, and it just I don't feel like there's closure. I feel like there was something there, and maybe something happened.
But did you see that JJ almost looked like he was about to cry?
He cried that one episode. Why didn't they talk about that more when he was like bawling? It's the same reaction when Catherine from Sean Lowe's season was crying over Leslie leaving. Do you remember that? That was sad.
No,
but they didn't have as
I don't
much of
remember
a showmance.
So while JJ's talking, Koopa cuts in, and this is the first time we start hearing from Koopa. I was annoyed right away. I'm not
Shut
gonna lie.
up, Koopa.
Yeah, he went right straight to. I don't like. It was all about him. I don't want to hear any more about this.
right.
I don't think any of us want to hear. Like he spoke for the group.
It would
He
be.
spoke for everybody.
He spoke for everyone.
Everyone on TV.
Nobody wants to hear about this anymore.
I think that it was different because there was clearly no connection between them, and it wasn't. I
Right.
think that he got it in his mind that he didn't get a fair chance. But when you're that like him versus Jared, I think Jared got dumped as well and handled it in such a gentlemanly way.
Yeah.
Koopa is the equivalent to a 3-year-old having a temper tantrum that he, didn't get the candy
So
at the
true.
whatever. Like, that's what it was.
I forgot about his exit. His exit was
rough.
total temper tantrum.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really was. I want to.
And he chose Britt, so he shouldn't even have a say in this.
Yeah, you're right. Same thing with Jonathan. I feel like both those guys kind of like Kaitlyn kind
They
of.
shouldn't have been on the MenTell at all.
Jared chose Britt too, but he didn't have the same reaction.
It's
negative
kind of what a
reaction.
lot of the guys said tonight about delivery. Delivery is a word we heard a lot. Like, it's one thing the way you did it, whatever, your delivery was wrong. Even told Kaitlyn, like, it's one thing to bring Nick on, but your delivery could have been better.
Yeah.
Same thing with these guys. Jared's delivery was different than Jonathan's or Koopa's.
I did agree with the part where they were saying that they wish that she had taken their feelings more into consideration, because it did seem like she was so giddy that Nick was on, and it was very apparent to the other people where, when you're the Bachelor or Bachelorette, you have to be considerate of other people's feelings. And, if you have a connection with someone, you try to keep that for when it's only them. Whereas I thought when he came on, she was very, open that she had significant feelings for him to everyone.
Yeah, agreed. One thing that I thought, and I wanted to bring this up and ask you guys about it, Clint made a really good point to Josh. When Josh told Kaitlyn that Nick isn't right for her, and Clint goes, that was like saying your opinions, and you value those above hers. That was probably the most... I know that JJ said they're intellectually stimulated by each other. That was the most intellectual thing I heard, relationship-wise, Clint say all season. That made a lot of sense. That's basically what Josh did.
At the same time, for my future husband or partner, I want them to be, to be wary of my feelings and know what's good for me, know what's bad for me, while I still have my own opinion.
True.
I would want them to be looking out for me. And if someone's a bad person, or they think that they might be a bad person, I would want them to tell me.
But okay, let's translate that into this situation. Nick had been on the show for a week, and he'd spent this much time. I don't know. I felt like it was okay in this situation. I agree with you.
I agree with both sides, honestly.
But I think in the real world, if somebody's going to tell you that, they should know more about you and about the person.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting, what Clint said. It gave Clint a little brownie points for me. A little chocolate cake ball points.
Yeah.
Should we all stop and eat a chocolate cake ball?
I
Savannah?
almost the whole.
Wait, let's do it. Let's do it in unison.
Oh, we're doing.
Brooks,
I already had 3 of
Brooks,
them.
grab one. Can we go to the 4 camera?
Okay.
Savannah, give us a countdown.
Are we doing one? Are we all at the same?
We are doing the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we're gonna see who can chew it and swallow it fast enough.
New one. Okay.
3.
Wait.
Or is this a race?
2.
No. What is
No,
happening?
yeah,
Okay,
we're just doing it.
All right.
Enjoy.
1. Cheers.
Cheers. I got a big. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my god,
Our audio listeners are gonna hate this.
Sorry, you guys are
From now on, we're gonna have chocolate all in our teeth.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so
Delicious.
good. Liz.
So good.
This is like that SNL skit.
Liz, do you want one?
If
She's
you're
like,
only
nope.
listening to the audio, it's like,
To anybody that's listening to this podcast, I got tweets today. People are like, I'm so excited to download this and listen on the way to work tomorrow.
We
I'm
apologize.
sorry for grossing you out. We're eating cake balls, and they're delicious.
I cannot wait for
Rose balls.
Jimmy Kimmel to do an unnecessary censorship of MenTell All.
What was the thing that was said? Was it? Well, let's talk because
JJ.
JJ's next. He's the first guy in the hot seat. He's trying to defend his relationship with Clint. Joe can't stop laughing, which was awesome, by the way. I kind of loved that. And then they said, yes, we bleep a lot. Brooks, I know you said you had something you wanted to say. You took a picture of this and tweeted it, did you not?
Yes.
Yeah, but it wasn't about that. I was gonna want to talk about something else.
Okay, bring it
I was
up.
gonna be talking about something. No, I just thought that was funny.
He said, yes, we something a lot. What did he say?
yes, we bleeped a lot. I think,
BS'd?
yeah.
Oh,
Probably.
okay. But it looked like,
Yes,
yes,
we
But it
BS'd.
looked like, but it looked like we,
hand jobbed a lot.
you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's interesting. Do you
Over
think
the pants.
anything in my teeth?
Over the pants.
dry HJ? Okay, I want to talk about JJ defending his because I felt like this was interesting. He tried to defend his humor. He said what got his vibe off with everybody was his humor. He's like, I'm the hockey locker room. I tried to translate that and rib these guys. It felt like he had a really hard time trying to describe that. Did it make sense to you, Savannah?
Was he that funny?
I understand it. It's like if you have a good friend, you make fun of them,
Yeah.
and that might not translate when it's someone that you're just meeting.
Do you think that's what he was doing with the guys and they didn't
But
get it?
Yeah.
it seemed like he took it a little bit too far. Like if you make a joke and the person that you're doing it to, like your new acquaintance, doesn't appreciate that joke, you don't do it again
Right.
for 3 weeks.
Right.
It's like JJ had these jokes with his close friends back at home, and he carried those into this, and they're like, "You don't get that?" And they're like, "Yeah, because we just met, man. I don't understand
Yeah.
your inside jokes."
Don't put your forehead against mine, man. Maybe that kind of stuff happened with other people, and they just really edited up him and Clint.
Yeah, JJ was just going around putting his forehead to everybody. Like there's one of Ben H and him doing that, I'm sure.
I mean, he seemed like the frat bro that like is put into the situation that should be very similar, but he tried to forge these friendships faster than they were able to.
It would have been funny if his date was like Flip Cup or like and he just destroys.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the challenges on the group date.
So the next person,
Smashes the solo cup.
the next person in the hot seat is Ben Z. And before we talk about Ben Z, I want to bring this up because I don't know if it's Eric or Eric. I'm sorry, Childs on the chat roll brought up a really good question. Do you think that they might do the same with the guys as they did this season? Have Ben Z and Ben H, two bachelors, and the ladies choose.
Damn.
Savannah's mind is blown. Would you?
How have I not thought of
I haven't thought about that either. That's a great point. Is it Eric or Eric? I'm not sure, but that's a great question.
Mr.
I'm just mad
Childs.
because I
Mr.
didn't think of it
Childs.
first.
I choose Ben.
Kathy, who would you choose right now?
Ben.
Which one?
They're
Ben.
just gonna have a
Savannah,
box
who
that
would
says
you- who would
H
you
and Z.
Okay.
'Cause I know
now
they're
this
two of
is
your top three.
really, really hard. I'm gonna have to say Ben H.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
If you had to, you were putting your rose in his box. That
Okay,
sounds
well, first of all,
way loud.
I just like him better. But
Okay.
also, I don't think Ben Z is ready yet.
Really? I think that Ben Z is potentially more ready,
Really?
but he wasn't great for Kaitlyn
Yeah.
necessarily. I mean, I completely had forgotten about his story because we really didn't. I think he was eliminated too soon.
Yeah.
He seems like a great guy. He seems like he's at a great point in his life. Same with Ben H. I
Yeah.
think that he's great as well. It's just they're different.
And I
Yeah.
agree with you, Savannah. I like personally, like as a bachelor to fill that role, I like Ben H more
Yeah.
than I like Ben Z. But I do feel like Ben H, you know, he had some things that he said like, I don't know if I'll be lovable again, right? And I know that if he is
Yeah.
the bachelor, they're gonna make that his tag. Like,
Oh,
find
totally.
out if Ben H is gonna be lovable.
Sure.
But nonetheless, I think like that may be a revealing comment into where he's at and maybe his like emotional state.
Yeah.
And maybe Benzi's We're just not going to see Ben Z cry, and that's great for me.
Right.
That's really what I need.
That's really what I need.
I don't know. I think that Ben Z, he even said tonight that, I just thought of something really great, and now I don't remember. I was going to say something about Ben Z. He said something tonight
He
about
hasn't
how
tried to cry or
yeah. I don't think that he would be ready, like to be in a relationship. Oh, to open up to everybody. That's what he was saying.
Oh yeah.
He said that he did learn this season that he could open up to people in a.
But isn't it about finding that one person that you can open up to?
Yeah.
It's not about opening up to everyone. It's about finding your person.
Right.
How fun would that be to watch?
Your person. Well, okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about Ben Z in the hot seat.
What a good guy, though.
He's a good dude. Everything about what he said, and even the clips they showed tonight, just says
he's never
stand-up
been
guy.
like shown in a bad light. He's just him and Jared are just really good guys.
What do you think lacked between him and Kaitlyn? What was it that did them in? Like, what was not there?
Me?
Yeah, anybody.
No, I don't know. I really thought that they had a good connection.
They did have a great connection.
Yeah.
I think that her connection with other people was
Just stronger.
better.
Stronger,
Though.
yeah.
She seems like she goes for the more outgoing, like, just quick-witted. And not saying that Ben Z isn't. It's just, I think that...
More serious, maybe?
He's a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because we didn't really get a lot of closure on their relationship. It was like, things were going good. See you later.
See you later. Yeah, and that was the weird time in the show. Nick was there. They were changing. It was a weird time in the show. Anything else about Ben Z? I know that Ben, and people are chiming in about this. Let's just talk about this now. So Ben H is rumored to be the next Bachelor. ABC won't ever confirm until the show's over, but E reported it this week.
Yeah.
Kathy and I host for Celebified. We reported it this week. Down, we're on the bottom totem pole of news. We're lower than E News and Entertainment Tonight and places like that. But
Don't say
everybody.
that.
Everybody was reporting it, is my point.
Say that.
That Ben H is the next Bachelor.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody better than you guys.
I appreciate you, kid. So I could see the franchise doing something like this to spice it up again.
But did you notice that they put way more attention on, you, like, look at the ladies, like, screaming for you on Ben Z than Ben H? Or was that just me?
No, I disagree. When
Really?
Ben H came up,
Well, yeah, but then at the end of Ben Z's, like, interview, I felt like they put more...
Chris Harrison said,
Harrison-
I don't think you're going to have a problem finding love.
he hammed it up for him.
He's
Which
like,
means I felt like he meant
yeah,
Good
you'll
luck
be
out in the
fine
world.
in the real world. Yeah, it's like, you won't have a problem finding love out in the real world. You're not going to
you're
get it
not
on
gonna
our
be the
show,
Bachelor.
but you'll
Yeah.
find it here. So,
all right, well, next up,
I
Jared.
hope that Ben H is the next Bachelor.
I think he will at least
will.
either
He's
be the
gotta
guy.
be. Who else?
I've never thought about this
Ian?
idea.
I've had
Oh,
so
God.
many girlfriends, myself maybe included, that have said that they wish that Ben H wasn't the Bachelor because that means that he's not going to be single.
Yeah,
Well-
but then we get to see him on TV.
Kathy, you just go on the show.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You should.
Would you
Yes.
go? Would you go?
Would
Maybe.
you?
If it
Yes.
was Ben H.
If it's
maybe.
Ben H, you'll
It's
go.
gonna
Uh-oh.
be Ben H.
We started the hashtag
We
last
did this
season.
last season with him, though, for Kaitlyn.
It was Danny for Bachelorette, yeah. Let's start the hashtag. Guys, let's officially...
this is
Kathy's getting
happening.
hot.
This
Let's
is
start
happening.
it. Hashtag Kathy for Bachelor.
Yes.
Okay, let's take a picture. Kathy,
This is happening right now,
Then
this
we're gonna-
moment. That's the picture. That's perfect.
That's perfect.
Great.
Wait, show your smile a little more between your hands.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Okay, this moment will be documented. You can follow Brooks on something. Twitter.
This is when you agreed.
The exclusive first picture, snapped by Brooks Forrester. Okay, so let's talk about the next
As
person in the
reported
hot
by
seat.
Celebified.
As reported by Celebified. Jared is the next guy in the hot seat. Same thing as Ben Z. Everything they showed his clips, I got the, God, such a stand-up guy vibe. You didn't think he was hot with his little spotty beard, though?
No.
Much better now?
Much better now. But what, just all around,
I forgot about the
Perfect guy.
super love hero, whatever it was.
I forgot about that, too.
When I first saw that, I'm like, who is this, weirdo?
But he's just such a nerd that
He's
it's so
such a nerd.
freaking
It's so cute.
endearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
Savannah, would you date Jared over Ben Z? Or Ben Z over Jared?
I don't know.
Ooh.
She has to get to know these
Yeah,
guys.
I
But
need-
this is
don't
a
put him on the
hypothetical.
spot.
We're way far down the road. This is a whole hypothetical.
No, this is real. I'm just kidding.
They may be watching.
Maybe, I guess Jared.
Okay.
I don't know, because I don't think Ben Z is like. I don't want to say he's not funny because
That's not
I
a
think,
knock against him.
No,
I would say, I mean, a lot of people,
know.
they're much funnier when they come off the show because it is a weird environment where
Right.
you have cameras and you're edited a certain way. You might have to go into a serious conversation.
Yeah.
So and personally, we know a bunch of people who said they're not funny on the show, and they're very funny in real
Yeah.
life. So I don't think that's anything against them. But I will say that both Jared and Benzie, I think, will make some girl so happy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they will treat them so well. They will be great boyfriends, husbands, whatever.
People are misunderstanding the hashtag Cathy for Bachelor as if you were the Bachelor, you would just date all the girls. I just want to clarify. It means Cathy to be a contestant on The Bachelor, kind of like when it was Danny for
that a
Bachelorette.
thing?
I would, yeah. Well, someone just commented it. People are saying never. Cathy's single until I can date her. Cathy for Bachelor. Cathy for Bachelor. Danny for Bachelor. Brooks for Bachelor.
Oh.
Uh-oh. What if Cathy goes on and Brooks goes on?
We could both date Ben.
Those are my friends. I tell them to do that. I go, get on there and say me for Bachelor.
So this is fun. Savannah and I will just be hanging out here, guys.
What's up? We're just gonna talk about
What's up? Okay, so next thing. Oh, I want
the
to
cake pops.
bring back the K-pop. I want to say one more thing. Chris said something during Jared's that I thought was, while Jared was in the hot seat, he goes, it probably doesn't help watching this back. It probably leaves you more confused.
Right.
If I'm Jared sitting there, that hurts because, yeah, it probably does.
Yeah.
Did you guys think that if that was you, would that make it harder?
Yeah, because how many months is between this and actually leaving?
It's a much quicker turnover.
So I feel like there's some time for them to maybe get over it or like think about it and
There should be, but when it's that fresh, like you just watched
right.
it. Even though there is time in between, like your feelings, they make you watch a segment about how you fell in love with
Right.
this
So the
person,
fact
and then
that
you're
when you
like
see
reliving
that,
all of
yeah,
it.
Yeah, that would be really hard.
Okay, so next person in the hot seat. Your favorite. Your favorite. Ben H.
Everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
Ladies, what did you think of his time in the hot seat? What are your takeaways?
I don't even remember. I was just looking at him. I'm just.
I was just dreaming, singing boys in my head.
Listen, I have nothing.
Mark is on it tonight.
Wow.
Can you
This
hear that?
guy-
He's playing the song. He just keeps
he
dropping.
Should stay.
He should stay. Yeah, let's keep him.
I
We
think
accept
that
this, Rose?
he always has great things to say.
He does. The crowd wouldn't stop cheering when he first walked up. It was like we had to
Can you
wait through
blame
3 rounds.
I don't
of
know
applause.
if it's just being in LA.
I'm a straight
but
guy,
I
and I
think
can
that
say
he's
Ben H is a
very
good-looking guy.
mature for 26 years old.
Right?
He's 27
When I found
now,
out he
correct?
was-
No, he's 26. He just turned 26.
Oh, I thought he turned 27 on the show.
No.
When I found that out, I was really surprised.
Yeah.
He's so mature.
Yeah, he is. He handles himself well.
But so is Ben Z. He's 26.
He doesn't look. He looks older than
doesn't-
26.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I saw the number today when we were watching. I had never known that he was.
I didn't know I thought he was like
I thought
29
he
or
was-
30.
I thought he was
What are you
28,
thinking?
29.
I thought it was interesting because I thought about that as well. I was like,
Yeah.
Ben H carries himself pretty well. He's pretty
Yeah.
mature for 26. And then I started thinking about some of the things that he shared on the show. He's had a relationship where he almost got married. He was in that relationship for extended period of time. So I think sometimes as you have longer relationships and less dating around, you made this comment about maybe it's being in LA, and it's no secret, and dating in LA is difficult because everyone's just like, oh, date over here, I'll date over here, I'll date over here, and it's like you are always looking for the next best thing, and it's
Right.
like that's never gonna end. There will
Yeah.
always be someone better looking, smarter, with more money or whatever. But my point is with Ben H, with the relationship, 6 years, is I think you learn a lot about that. When you're in those relationships, you really learn why relationships are great. And so he's coming with that perspective to the table, and maybe other people as well. But so I'm relating that maturity to his dating experience.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when he was watching his highlight package and they showed the cutaway to Ben H's face, You could see the emotion. Did you guys see it? He was closing his eyes. He was breathing carefully.
I just want to say that when the first time that they showed Kaitlyn and Ben kissing, he licked his lips.
That's a subconscious thing that I've done.
You did it so that his lips were moist before he went in for a kiss, so they weren't chapped.
But I've done that. Like if I look at a picture
I've done that.
of me and
Now I'm doing
But
it.
that's.
yeah, it's like now that
But
we're
you
talking
think
about
it was like a
I think it
hey
was
girl?
like.
What did that
I remember
mean?
those
if
lips.
we start talking about lips,
That's what it was.
you think he was saying I remember those lips?
Subconsciously.
I don't know.
But like even talking about it now, aren't you thinking like, oh my gosh, my lips are dry?
I mean,
I'm thinking about my lips now, and they feel dry. Like I need to chap them.
I have done
I
that.
think
I've licked
subconsciously
my
when
lips
you're like-
before I go in for a kiss because I don't want them to be chapped.
Yeah,
I do too, and I've got
But it's
called out
also-
for it before.
guys,
Yeah.
Like, stop-
Was it with Cathy?
What?
No, it wasn't with Cathy. No, I'm saying I've got called out before. She's been like, "Don't lick your lips before." Like, but it's a
Your
subconscious
girlfriend?
thing. I lick my lips.
I know,
before
but it's also, I think when you're thinking about
weird?
kissing someone, even if they're not present, like Ben H was clearly thinking about kissing
obviously-
Kaitlyn.
yeah.
Sure, he's watching himself kiss her. Of course, he's thinking about
I
it.
know, but it was just weird to see it.
I'm not going to subscribe to
Hold
the theory
on.
that he was licking his lips because he thought.
Somebody just commented, "I just licked my
Too good.
cat's lips." That's weird.
whoa.
Yeah, about 36 degrees. So hold on. I want you guys to chime in on the chat roll or tweet us or whatever. Do you think this is weird? Do you lick your lips before you kiss? Do you subconsciously have you noticed this? Like, is this a
I've done
weird
that
thing?
before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you don't have like dry
I'm not
mouth.
thinking about that. Like,
You wanna have
I don't
moist
know.
lips.
You probably
Savannah-
just don't notice it.
But
Next
here's
time
the
you
thing.
kiss someone, you're
Okay.
totally gonna lick your
Do you
lips. and
prefer
you're gonna be
moist
like, I
lips or dry
remember.
lips when you kiss someone?
Moist.
Exactly.
I hate that word.
Moist towelette is my least favorite word in the world.
Okay.
That's so funny. It's our Dutch connection.
It's our Dutch connection.
Moist.
Okay.
Okay, so before we move on to Kaitlyn, I want to talk about something that we have all kind of started doing here, and this is Next Issue. My goodness, if you guys haven't had a chance to check this out, we have an awesome promo going on.
Mm-hmm.
Cathy and I've got a chance to kind of play around with this last week.
Yeah, they have basically every single magazine you could ever want to read on one app.
Every single one.
$9.99 a month.
I think last week I tried to stump the app. I was listing them off, and you guys were like, nope, it's right there. Home Improvement, nope. Better Housekeeping, nope. Homes and Gardens, nope. ESPN, nope. Esquire, nope. I could keep going on, as you can
Basically,
tell.
every magazine that covers the Bachelor Bachelorette franchise you can find on there.
Yeah, exactly. So here's how it works: $9.95 a month. It's just like Netflix of magazines. So you can get on your iPad, your tablet, your phone, your laptop, whatever it is, and you can pull up the magazine and read it right there, and then drop it down and pull up another one and read it. You have access to literally all of them. $9.95 a month, and cool promo with AfterBuzz. Cathy, do you want to drop the special news?
You get your first month free if
You get a whole 30-day free trial at nextissue.com/abtv. If you go there right now, you can read up, all the way up, on all of your interest. Nextissue.com/abtv. It's a big
it's
thing.
environmentally friendly because you're not killing trees.
Yeah, it is. All right, so, by the way, thank you for listening to that. Thank you to our sponsors.
Plus,
They're
you
fantastic.
can screenshot all of your favorite articles.
Hello. Send them to
Keep
mom and dad.
right there on your phone or your
Like-
tablet.
When ABC officially announces Ben H is the next battle, I'm gonna screenshot it, send it to Savannah, and be like, "Yo, girl, check this out."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, boy.
Okay. Okay.
Would you sign
So
up?
many benefits.
Yeah.
Hello.
Wait for the magazine.
For Ben H.
For Ben H's
Oh,
season.
I joke with everyone about it, but no, I could not do that.
No.
I could never do that show. I would die.
Really?
Yes.
What do you think would be the hardest part?
Everything.
Yeah, but like, what's
I
one
could
part?
never.
Not being with your phone.
Kissing,
probably-
the
I could
licking, not
probably
licking your
doing
lips
that.
before you go for a kiss.
There's one of the laughs. We're trying to get Savannah to laugh because she has some interesting laughs.
Okay.
You have a variety of them.
She does. She brought a variety tonight.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah,
I
what
don't
would be
know.
the hardest element? I mean, Brooks, what was the hardest element for you?
Everything.
But like, if you
Yeah,
had to
good
pick
point.
one, what's one that sticks out right now?
I would say like talking about personal things that you feel like you need to talk to somebody in order to get to know them on camera for other people to hear, and you're like, and then for them to scrutinize everything, like, oh, you said that too early, you said it too late, like, why did you say that? You know, it's like, I said it because I was in a conversation with somebody, you know, and I was already trying to ignore the cameras.
One of the things that Kaitlyn said tonight was, I can't see anyone dating 25 people on national television and not screw up at least once.
Try it.
Yeah, and she goes, and actually I wrote this down because she goes, guys, try dating this many people at once. It's hard.
And she has gotten the most backlash, I think, out of any Bachelor or Bachelorette contestant.
Well, she has, but I feel like the show has been just making it even worse than it should be. Like, the whole reading those DMs.
No, I'm glad that they brought those to light, because that's something that's very real and she's had to deal with more so than anyone else. And I think that it's time that America or people see how hateful those comments are, so that we can correct it, because that's not something that just Kaitlyn is going through. I think that's something that a lot of YouTube celebrities are going through, a lot of celebrities in general, and it's not an okay thing.
Well, let's talk about this.
There was an interesting point, and I made that at the show, because, and I do not want to seem insensitive here, because I agree with that, but I'm also saying the actions of ABC are also contradictory to that in a degree, in the way that they treated Juan Pablo in his season. Like, they rode down that path as far as they could, and they were like, would that be considered cyberbullying? Because it is on a network, you know, like anything else, and they didn't have any shame in doing that. Given that Juan Pablo did have some statements and he conducted himself in a different manner than Kaitlyn, I'm not putting them in the same boat, but I'm just saying it seems like they are, and I'm glad they did, because I think calling attention to it is the best way to stop it. But I just found that interesting, that they were playing a little bit of both sides of the card.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like they could have done less to Juan Pablo, and I don't think they really cared to. And I know this is treading on a sensitive subject, but I just wanted to point that out, that I'm like, I think it's bad in both ways, to be okay with one because it's coming from the network, and the other one because it's coming from people on Twitter. I don't think there's much difference in that.
But the network also didn't send Juan Pablo hate or death threats.
There's
that's
obviously
crossing
variance
the
in
line.
that.
What do you think was the network's biggest fault with Juan Pablo? Biggest fault?
Making him Bachelor?
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as once it all kind of went south, how they handled it is basically what you're saying was the issue. What they did. What was their big? What was?
Well, I mean, I remember watching that season, being like, "Man, let it alone." Like, it felt like they were just berating the issue, instead of like, "Okay, that happens." Like, you made your choices. We don't agree with some of them, but rather like calling attention to it and making it a show out of it. That's where I was like, I don't like this. I don't like what they're doing.
And I understand what you're saying, because it's twofold. They want to get ratings. Like the same thing with Kaitlyn. They didn't have to talk and show the whole thing about her having sex. It drove ratings like crazy. Right. I don't think they were trying to shame her, and she also doesn't feel bad about it. I mean, she, granted, it didn't help her in the process, but she doesn't think she did something wrong. Like, it wasn't wrong to do it. So I see both sides. Yeah, I see both sides.
Well, and I think that's the interesting backlash that she's getting. It's like, the fantasy dates happen on the show, right? We all know that. We all signed up for that. But it's like, America goes, as long as it stays within the premise that I'm used to. This is why I think we've all had this like issue with the rose ceremonies.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's not falling into what the premise that I signed up for. The shows come at the end. And the fantasy date for her and Nick didn't come at the end, so people are pissed. They're like, no, it's not supposed to happen then. But they've never had a problem with it when it happened prior, when all the other previous contestants had their fantasy dates. They're like, okay, that's fine, because it's supposed to happen. But sleeping with someone that you're dating and you're eventually going to marry is supposed to happen. But, like, the timing didn't happen when they wanted it, and so everyone got pissed.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I just thought it was...
Sorry,
no, it's a good point.
In past seasons, and this is something that we've seen every single time, Courtney and Ben had sex before the overnight dates. Juan Pablo, I don't know if he and Claire did something before the overnight dates.
In the ocean.
Every single time, the girl is the one that gets the backlash. Why? that's because America. Like, there are so many people who, it's this double standard that a woman can't have sex before marriage, but a guy can.
These comments, by the
Got
way,
an argument for that.
these comments, by the way, Chris reads out were off. I didn't like hearing them even being read, and then they put them up on the screen. It made me feel.
That was intense.
Do you think that was necessary to do to help put a stop to it, Savannah?
I don't know. I mean, I do think that maybe showing one of them would have been good, just to let everybody know that that's what's happening. But I feel like America knows that's what's happening. Like, it's trending topics, it's in magazines.
But I knew it, but I never saw any of them. I wouldn't go look them up.
Never,
like, I knew it was happening.
Yeah, but especially
seeing
that
it,
DM,
Actually,
that
here,
was-
those
that
are
was scary.
so hateful,
Yeah.
and I hope that after tonight, Kaitlyn just gets an overwhelming, just people
Amount of
pouring
love.
in
Yeah.
support,
Yeah.
because
and I think people that maybe wouldn't have said anything will opt in to support.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah.
I think
so too.
I think they will, which is good.
I think she was such a great bachelorette. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, she gave us a lot
I
of
do too.
a lot of fun and a lot of fodder. I mean, it was fun to watch. So since she's in the hot seat, we got to talk about this, and then we're going to wrap up here. But as far as the guys communicating with her and their questions, I thought it was interesting when she gets to Ben H. And he says, instead of asking why didn't you tell me that you had sex with Nick, he asks in a more intellectual way. He says, did you tell Sean because you knew at that point that was the relationship you wanted to invest in? I thought that question was fantastic, and that shows Ben's level of maturity. He wasn't salty that it happened. He wanted to know in the process. Of course, he wondered why she didn't tell him. I'm sure watching that home, he was like, if she would have just told me, I could have maybe reserved more of my heart. But instead, he wanted to know, well, did you know at that point? Do you think her answer was sufficient?
At first, she didn't answer him at all.
No.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was her
I think she
evading
knew
the
what she was doing,
question
a little
or she just didn't understand it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm glad Chris was like, well, the question is, you know.
We don't see Chris do that a lot.
But it was the only time that he kind of redirected her, because for the majority of tonight and this season, he supports her.
Yeah.
He says, my friend Kaitlyn, he supports her.
Because if Ben H had said, you didn't answer my question, he would have looked
like
salty.
a jerk, yeah. And that's the host's job, is you have to take on that pressure. Okay, and then the onslaught about the Nick, when they all kind of came at him, Jonathan pipes up. And this is, again, when I want to be like, Jonathan, stop.
Yeah.
And I love that Kaitlyn came back at him. That was fantastic.
So good.
Wait, didn't you vote for Britt?
Yeah.
And then he was kind of like, and he kind of showed, the whole crowd was like, oh.
Yeah.
Then I thought her question was funny. I don't know, what would you guys think of this? She goes, Clint, why didn't you treat me the way you treated JJ? I know she was trying to make a joke, but do you think there's a little bit of like
Well, it showed their faces and
seriousness though? Like, it was kind of serious, right?
I think
Clint was
so. I don't know.
angry at that.
Ugh. Yeah, we already talked about Ian, so I'm not going to do that. So, and we saw the blooper reel, and then we see the
funny.
preview for next week, the most dramatic finale ever. Savannah, right now,
Oh my god.
who is it? Who wins? Who does she choose? Or what do you think's going to happen?
Okay.
Yeah, I know you have an interesting theory. I watched you pontificating while we were watching.
Wow, okay. I really don't think she chooses anybody.
What?
Really?
You don't think she picks anyone?
I have never, and I've really been watching her, I really have never seen a bachelorette or a bachelor so, like, distraught and confused. She's so in love with both of them. You can tell.
But if you're in love with two people, if you walk away from both, you lose both.
But is that better than...
Progressing with
I don't know.
one
I
and-
think that maybe, like, she's just so confused that she can't do it. And even in the preview, she said something. I can't remember what she said, but she was just like crying, and she didn't know what she was gonna do, and said, "Do I even like?" She said something like, "I brought myself to this point so far."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I really.
She's like, I don't know how I let it get this far. That's what she said.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know how I let it get to this point. Is that what leads you
No.
to...
I've thought that. I just really thought that she's not
Really?
gonna change anybody since
Which is better, to say that she doesn't want to continue, she doesn't want to pick one, and so she lets both of them go,
Maybe she
and then
talks
maybe
to
they
them, like,
explore it
after?
outside,
Yeah.
Or is it better to choose one and then pull a Mesnick and choose the other person and end up with that person?
Yeah, you either pull a Mesnick or you pull a Juan Pablo and Nikki and explore it outside of the show.
But he at least chose someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they went on a show.
I still think she chooses someone.
But see, in the real world, to be at that level with two people, you're not going to explore that in the like. I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you. I'm going to spend Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays with you, and the other days you don't do that at that point in the real world. That doesn't happen.
No.
Most of the time, I'm sure in some cases, but like most of the time. Maybe at the beginning, and we've talked about this, first couple weeks, you're going on dates, then once you are that far with somebody, you're not that far with anyone else.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I just find it really interesting. Maybe it's me just, like, going too far, but I feel like Sean has been, throughout the season, since they are able to still have Twitter going, he hasn't really been tweeting as much about Kaitlyn, and I've noticed that Nick does a lot. So I don't know what that says.
Okay, my obvious
I try not to read
reaction.
into all the tweets from them.
What's your obvious reaction of that, though? Just knowing that info, what would you think that means?
Okay, what can also I just say, did you see her face when they were talking about Nick and Sean? She just seemed like, yeah, I'm not with anybody, so this is...
Ooh, you think that's what's so... Okay.
Or do you think she was just trying not to give it away? She's like, I can't give it away, so don't react to it either.
if I was so in love, I don't even know if I'd be able to like hold it in. You know, like if she was with Sean, which I mean, I hope that she would be with Sean because I like Sean. I don't know.
Well,
I feel like she would be more giddy and like, okay, like. I don't know.
I think it's Sean because there's less talk about Sean, and there's more talk about Nick in the questions that the guys ask. And the producers sometimes talk to the guys beforehand, and whether or not they're telling them to talk about those topics, they still get them in that rhythm of like, oh, okay, cool, I have these thoughts. Yeah. This stuff to talk about. And when the question comes up, or Chris Harrison asks about something, they're like, oh, I just talked to the producer about that. Boom. And so there's more about Nick than there was about Sean. Same kind of logic that Cathy has about Twitter.
I would love to hear all of these guys' reactions after the final episode. So if she does choose Nick, I think that they would be way more angry because then it is that situation where why did we sign up for this when you were already talking to a guy outside of the show versus if she chooses Sean and then that validates her saying, I think my husband is in this room on the first night.
Can we talk about the Snapchat?
We've talked about it before, and I want to be careful not to say a spoiler of who was in it because there are people who are listening and who watch that don't know. But yes, there's that whole deal that we think could have been a plug by ABC.
You think?
To throw people off.
A lot of people are saying that,
Because there's always websites who have the spoiler of who won. So ABC could be with the trend and using the latest technology to be like, I'm going to throw everybody
I haven't thought about that, but now you are making me think.
Okay. Savannah, I want to talk about you.
Okay.
You are, first of all, your voice is incredible.
Thank you.
Yes. You started just by putting videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
When you were how old?
Oh, God. I think I was 15. No, I was younger. Yeah, I don't know.
Did your parents know that you were uploading YouTube videos?
Their idea.
Okay. Was it really?
Oh, yeah. My dad shot them for a while. Yeah, I thought that it was the dumbest idea. I was like, I don't want people to know that I can sing or that I like to sing. I kept it away from all my friends. But then it caught on, and I'd be in the hallways of school, and they'd be like, hey, saw your video. And then they just walked by. I'm like, oh, okay. Do you like it? No?
Yes, did you like it?
So I started on YouTube, just doing covers and everything.
So, like, your excuse when your parents would come into your room was like, are you singing in there? You're like, no, I was looking at porn. I wasn't singing. I was doing something else.
Productive, I swear.
I was doing math. You were like, I want to keep this.
I was researching our Dutch history.
Yeah.
The genealogy of my family. So what are you working on now? What's going on now with you?
Now I'm really excited working on original music. I've been in the studio since September.
Dang.
Yeah, and released the first single in a long time, Boys.
God,
I knew that was going to happen.
He's
I was
so
just waiting for it.
Wait, and I have to give you a shout out.
Wow.
I'm in the gym today. I tweeted this out. I'm in the gym today listening, using one of my favorite apps, Hype Machine. This is not a plug for them, but I'm using this app.
It isn't.
I think you're plugging yourself because you've talked about the gym like 4 times already.
Have I really?
You're like, yeah, I was in the gym today. It doesn't. I was at the gym. I was at the. Yeah,
this
you
was
did.
a personal conversation.
I was at the gym today, and I was just at the gym.
Guys, I was at McDonald's today.
You also have a song. I was at the gym.
All right, so I was at the gym listening to I was using a hype machine, and it's this song that brings up the most popular songs on the World Wide Web that day, the most trended songs in blogs and yada yada. Third song in, it was either the third or the second song in, is a remix of your song "Boys."
Yeah.
This is complete like happenstance. Do you like that remix?
I love it. I'm obsessed with it, which is kind of weird for me to like. I like want to listen to it. Ooh. I thought the Golden Coast did a really good job. To
approve, Savannah approved.
Yeah, and there's another remix coming out soon too.
Can you say who did it?
No.
Okay. Wow, that's a little teaser.
No. But you guys will know him, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
That's exciting.
What else? Where else can people find your music? Is your website SavannahOuten.com?
Yeah. Well, my YouTube page has all my music. The music video for Boys. YouTube.com/Savannah7448.
Hello.
Yeah, those numbers were just and then SavannahOuten.com. Outen OUTEN, like out.
Do you have a favorite song that you've ever put up on YouTube? Like a favorite YouTube video that you've uploaded?
Wow, they're all really embarrassing. Especially, like, it's a whole entire scrapbook of my life, I feel like. I mean, I used to have, like, blonde hair. Oh, yeah. I was just really tiny, and there's one video where I'm, like, doing this foot thing, and I'm dancing, singing Breaking Free from High School Musical.
Finding that
ASAP. And I had to tell people in the YouTube, like, About Me section, everybody was like, what's that darn foot thing you're doing?
It's the stanky leg.
And I was like, I only had a certain perimeter, and I couldn't, keep myself from moving, so I had to move, but I literally don't remember doing it. I was like singing, and I was like, it's weird. Never taken it down, though.
Do you have to, like, do you read through the comments? You have to put some of that stuff, too, don't you?
Yeah, but it doesn't get to me.
You?
Yeah, I try and make it a joke.
You're a trooper. That's awesome. Well, in the meantime, people can follow you on Twitter and Instagram.
Yep. The Real Savannah, Instagram and Twitter.
The Real Savannah, Instagram with 2 N's.
Yeah.
With 2 N's.
And I love so hard that you are a Bachelorette fan.
Yeah.
We need to get you in studio again.
So fun.
Thank you so much. You are welcome anytime. You are a great addition. In the meantime, where can everybody find you guys?
I'm Brooks Forster. You can find me at Brooks Forster on Twitter or Brooks-Forster on Snapchat.
Oh.
Get a snap on.
Hello.
You can follow me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley and on Instagram at Cathy Kelley.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Danny Hoyt or on Snapchat at DannyHoyt47. I got a shout out about my Snapchat on the chat roll tonight because I'm Snapchatting you guys and your cake pops.
Cool.
So thanks again for the cake pops, Liz.
Thanks again for having me.
And Savannah. Thanks so much, Savannah. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Now.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.